one of the goals that we're looking to accomplish with you ladies is the ability to take somebody from this very top place of, I don't know you, therefore I don't necessarily like you or trust you yet, right? Like that's okay, because if they don't know you, they're probably not going to trust you yet. So how do we get them from that very top place of, I don't know you, I don't like you, and I don't trust you yet, all the way down through the funnel? Or Chris is probably going to teach us about the hexagon method, which is completely different, but the same goal there. Look at it. He's got it right there, right?
That Tara called the opportunity circle, which is what you just described. And the idea there is that when things are good, when life is good and business is good and all those things that you mentioned are happening, guess what people start doing? They stop caring about marketing to people that don't know them. Because there's enough on the middle circle. There's enough people hiring you and there's enough people that already know you that you don't feel like you need to grind and sort of continue to build your brand beyond the people that already know what it is. When I was with Top Producer in 2008, when the market was absolutely falling apart, like probably end up being worse than this recession will be, people were more sort of thirstier for CRMs. They were more open-minded for help and advice because, you know, when your business is doing this, you don't really need to listen to anybody. But when your business is doing this, or when it maybe starts to go down, you start scrambling. You look for the life raft. So, you know, back in the first crash, it was like people started becoming more open-minded to things like Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and they stopped making fun of it and they started embracing it. They got rid of their BlackBerry. They got rid of their Internet Explorer browser. They got rid of their PC and got a MacBook, right? So that was sort of glow up number one. Where I think we're at now would be when you hear people saying, oh, you need to be doing reels and TikToks. My point was that people are a lot more open-minded when things are tough than when things are good.
Right.
You know, and so when you're saying like, put a little bit like, and I was just thinking about the language you guys used and how people hear it differently. When you say lead gen, I think of funnels and digital marketing and ads, and I think of like lead gen being the fun part. And then I think of lead conversion being the sort of more challenging part. But when I think of like lead gen, it's funny that it even means like, hey, go grab the phone and start calling people to figure out who's a lead. To me, that feels like 1990s, you know, early 2000s definition of like, you need to lead generate every day. You know, now when I think of prospecting, that's when I start to think of that more outbound. Let me see, tap on some people's shoulders. Let me set up as many conversations as I can. But hopefully people are going to be willing to do both. The reality is that if your business slows down, your time increases that you have to a lot of this stuff. So I think people always have some excuse, time or money. You know, they don't have time to do it or they don't have the budget to do it. Well, when your money goes down, your time goes up, and you just have to sort of switch the tactics.
Yeah.
I think something though too, Chris, and it's funny how you mentioned like when you think of lead generation, you think of it as being the fun part, right? And all the opportunity and possibilities that are out there. But and that's one of the reasons we're so excited to have you for the 6-figure challenge, because I think the key factor is that, you know, you have the knowledge of what's working, right? How to make it work and all of the systems and processes that go behind that. And so it is exciting for you because you're armed with all of the information that you need to execute on that in a way that's going to make money, right? Whereas unfortunately, that's not the norm in our industry where, you know, as you know, like I'm speaking to the choir, I'm more talking to the girls than I am to you, but like, you know, there's just not a lot of people out there that are teaching lead generation at a high level that isn't like cold calling and door knocking, which
Tara, beyond that, even the lead generation that most agents do online is sort of automated and average at best. They run an ad, they send somebody to a landing page where they're forced to register. They don't really want to register, but that's their only choice. So some of them do. All the smart people leave.
Right.
But some of them register. And then once they become a lead, what is the follow-up? Drips and aggressive phone calls and text messages that you didn't even want.
Yeah. No, exactly.
So you know, it's like that is, you know, I don't bash that because, you know, the companies and platforms that provide those types of services, it works. Sync and Boomtown. These guys wouldn't be so big if it didn't work. But at the end of the day, I think the world's moving in a different direction. And I know that if I'm a salesperson, I want people calling me. I don't want to have to be calling people. I mean, maybe I'm bougie, but I want people knocking my door down. I don't want to door knock.
We're a little bougie around here. It's okay.
Yeah. I think at least let that be your goal. Maybe you don't accomplish it, but start with, I'm never calling a lead. They're all calling me, and they'll wait as long as I need them to before I get back to them, because I'm legit and they know it. And the kind of content that it takes to create that thought in somebody's mind is not what I see in the news feeds that you guys put out. Not you guys, like we said, the industry puts out. So, lead generation for me, if you think about your website for a second, you got all these different forms, and they could get their home's value, and they could, like subscribe to your newsletter, and they could, register to get alerts, right? The best leads are the ones that go through the contact us page. Like, those are the leads everybody's excited about. In fact, when they do all the data and research about like what are the highest quality leads that you get, the ones that come through your website are typically the highest quality, maybe compared to homes.com, realtor.com, even Zillow sometimes. But the reality is, even when they come through your website, are they being forced, or are they actually forcing themselves? And so when I teach marketing, video, personal brand, building audiences to run ads against, like, as an example, and we don't want to give away too much, but I'll give one quick tip. Those of you that love social media and you're prolific on Instagram and you're posting all the time and you get a bunch of good engagement, but you're not really sure like if it's leading to any business, one of the best targeting options, and this is allowed, by the way, even in your crazy industry that doesn't allow most of the good targeting. Well, what if I could show ads to just the people that like me on Instagram, like my most recent post? How about just the ones that visited my profile? How about just the ones that saved one of my Instagram posts? So when people comment, when people like, when people share your post to their story, if somebody DMs you, all of those actions they take can put them into an audience. So when you see me just cranking out content marketing left and right, 8,000 views, 50,000 views, 800,000 views, 1,000 new followers, all that stuff, I think some people think of that as vanity metrics and like, yeah, but are you making money, or is it leading to any real business? I hear that all the time. It's like, number one, of course it is. I get messages galore of people that just straight hire me. There's no back and forth. There's, but at the same time, at a minimum, I'm building an audience that I can guarantee already knows my stuff and likes my stuff before I show them an ad that says, hey, by the way, if you like the free stuff I put out, love you to consider, checking out the paid stuff that I do. It's the same thing for you guys. Put out fire content as an agent, and then just sort of through retargeting, remind people, hey, by the way, if you like the stuff that I put out on Instagram, don't forget, we do sell homes. You can send us your referrals. Thank you for your time.